Here's a few grown lessons. Let's get into it. It's been a while. Stop trying to help people who don't want to be helped. Let me say that again. Stop trying to help people, bring people with you who just don't see the light, who don't see the success in themselves. You've tried it over and over and over again, and they don't want the help. So at this point, it's time to let it go. And I know that's tough, but they'll be all right. Patience. Have patience. You just started. Let it breathe a little bit, mama. Let it breathe. The more you level up, the more you look better, the more you take care of yourself, the more you work out, you eat your vegetables, you take care of your skin, you do your hair, you're going to realize the less people are around you, because not everybody is ready to operate on an excellence level. Eat a vegetable and eat a piece of fruit every single day. The fiber is going to help you unbig your back. And that's not me coming for you. That's me looking out for you, baby. Wear your sunscreen and brush your teeth. Every girl should have a simple black dress in their closet that can go from day to night. If you don't know who you are, then the world will dictate who you are. And if you know who you are, you better stand on who you are. If you're going to wear a synthetic wig, mama, you have to put on makeup. You can't wear a shiny synthetic wig without putting a little bit of foundation, a little mascara, maybe light concealer and gloss, or it's just going to look like wig. I'm not saying this is always the case, but your friends can easily turn into your enemies, so be very careful about the information that you share. Even if you're going through a moment, stop digging through your dirty clothes and go do laundry. If you really want to get back at your ex, if you really want to get back at him, level up until you're out of his league. And get a new bra. It's time. Again. Breathe, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders. Everything is going to be all right.
Hello loves, how are you all doing today? I hope you all are doing good. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, you're welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Here are some of my grown woman tips. Ladies, go to school, graduate, get a job. You can still be working and be a good mother and a wife. Why do I emphasize so much on this? Some of you will say that taking all the years through school to get a degree is too much. You can get some vocational training, learn a trade. You're going to be proud of yourself when you look back on how far you've come. Why am I putting so much emphasis on building yourself as a woman? Now, there are so many women living in abusive relationships and marriages because they solely depend on their men to survive. Some of these men, they can abuse you physically, emotionally, and torture you mentally. And they know that you're not going to go anywhere, you will not leave. Reason because you solely depend on them. You cannot stand on your own without their financial support. And they use this in controlling you. And you see women, they keep on enduring such pain. You ask that, but why don't you leave a man who treats you like that? And she will say, I cannot leave because I have kids. If I leave, I will not be able to fend for these children. And that is why empowering yourself as a woman, it comes with joy in it. Even if you have a man who gives you all the money that you need, there might come a time that that man might not be able to provide for you. I'm not wishing you bad luck, okay? But life happens. What if the man is not being able to provide for you and the kids again tomorrow? What becomes of you and the family? Which is why it's always very important for you as a woman to empower yourself. And it also makes you stand out. You as a woman working, it is you fulfilling your purpose in life. It comes with greater joy.
The men you date are a reflection of your confidence. The way you let somebody treat you, the way you allow somebody to talk to you, the way you allow somebody to deal with you is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. I say that to say, if you have a lot of confidence in yourself, right, and somebody's disrespecting you or treating you a certain way, you're not going to allow that to happen. Why? Because that don't even make sense to you. You like, I'm really that girl for real. Not even trying to be cocky. Like, you're not going to talk to me like this. You're not going to treat me like this. And you're not going to do me like this. But if you are not confident within yourself, if you have low self-esteem, unfortunately, a lot of times, you allow people to show people you have low self-esteem. Like, a lot of people can look at your partner and the way that your partner deals with you, treats you, who your partner is in general, and can just be like, yeah, she got low confidence. So I want you to ask yourself, looking at your partner, looking at whoever you're dating, whatever the case may be, how much of your confidence is that a reflection of? Do you look like a confident? Does it make you feel like, forget what you look like, do you feel like a confident person or no?
Give yourself a chance to meet someone else. Don't go back to someone who was lucky enough to have you and did not value you when they had a chance.
Here are 8 hot girl mindset shifts that changed my life. Confidence comes from your little wins. It is not about what you look like, it's how you show up for yourself. Moving your body, meditating, self-care. Someone else's opinion of you is not a fact, it's an opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so being offended by it is a waste of time. Be secure in what is facts. Who you are, your worth, and what you bring to the table. Hate will only come from below or from competition. People who are genuinely successful, like top of the top, will never hate on you. And if they are, it means that they're threatened by you. Clap and be genuinely happy for other people's success. Jealousy is ugly. Their success is only proof that you can do it too. Stop obsessing if a guy likes you. Put that energy into liking yourself, and the best quality guy will be attracted to the best version of you. No answer is an answer. Confidence is silent, insecurity is loud. Only insecure people will do a whole lot of this. Confident people do not have the time or energy. Your only competition is yourself. We are all starting from different starting lines. Compete with who you were yesterday.
As a woman, you should only have valuable male contacts. Because you know what? A man will have a contact list full of women on his phone, knowing who to call when he wants what. When he wants the guap guap 300, he knows who to call. When he wants someone to cook him a meal, he knows who to call. When he wants someone to Netflix and chill, he knows who to call. See, women nowadays just like to have a whole bunch of contacts just to have the good morning notifications. But no, I want valuable contacts that I know that if I'm in need of something or if I need help, they can help me. If you're a man and you are in my contact list and you provide no value, you are a waste man and you are going in the trash where you belong. There's no point of having a male contact in your phone that's just texting you saying, hey, good morning, what you doing? He's not your therapist. You know what he's after. He's not providing no value. Next caller. Why is he in your phone? He's taking up iPhone storage. Block, 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 and delete. Only valuable contacts. Because all the men in your phone, they're only after one thing, and that one thing is what you have in between your legs. Use that to your advantage. You know that all these men that are in your phone are after one thing, that you only need to have valuable contacts because what you have in between your legs is valuable, clearly. Why are you having male contacts in your phone that's just texting you what you're doing, good morning, like he's a therapist, but he can't text you how much you need? It's expensive to be a woman.
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I wish I could tell my younger self is to diversify your portfolio. And I do not mean to go and get a manager and diversify your financial assets. What I mean is to set yourself up as a woman where you have so many categories that you can win in that if one or two of them are not working out, you're not going to completely crumble and think, oh my God, nothing's going right for me. Work on your higher self, work on your physical body, work on your career, work on your education, and work on your love life. Diversify areas that you can win in so that when one isn't working out, who cares? You got 10 other ones.
The only way to fix it is to address it. I'm not running from anything else anymore. And I don't want people in my life who run from the truth. Until you can take accountability and be truthful with who you are, I don't want you in my life. I don't want perfect people in my life. I want honest people in my life. If you cannot be honest with where you are and who you are, you have no place here.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but whatever decision you do make, you'll be fine. You have the wisdom. You're supported. You're loved. This is a learning process. Sorry, I eat my Cheez-Its and they're delicious, but...
Maturing is realizing that silence at times is power. You don't have to participate in every conversation. You don't have to add your 2 cents to every conversation. You don't have to have a voice in every situation. It's okay to leave some things left unsaid. It's okay to just be quiet. It's okay to observe. It's okay. It's okay. That is a part of developing and growing and maturing. It's okay. Silence is golden. We actually take it for granted. You can just be mute. You can keep your thoughts and ideas here, but you don't have to share everything. Yeah, so I'm practicing that. You should too. Okay? I love you.
I don't know who said this, but you cannot control a smart woman. You can only control a woman who does not prioritize herself. And that is the truth. When people look at me and say, oh my God, she's so full of herself. Of course I'm full of myself. What else am I supposed to be full of? I am a single woman. And by single, I mean there is not a single human being on this planet Earth that is depending on me for life. I am single. What else am I supposed to be full of? You? Your bullshit? Am I supposed to be full of hating myself? Am I supposed to be full of the insecurities that all of these industries are pushing? No, I'm full of myself. I prioritize myself. And I'm sure there are plenty of women that will bow down to you, but I'm not one of them. I'm just not one of them. And I just feel like women should be full of themselves. We should be full of our goals, our dreams, building our lives, finding independence, not all this bullshit that they're trying to sell to us. Always remember that people treat you how you treat yourself. You treat yourself like a princess, they'll treat you like a pretty little princess. You treat yourself like a queen, they'll bow the fuck down. If you treat yourself like an afterthought, you will always be an afterthought to others. So really think about how you treat yourself. Think about how you prioritize yourself, and really think about how you take care of yourself, because the way you take care of yourself sets the standard to how everyone you interact with will take care of you. So just make sure that your standards are actually your standards by upholding your standards for yourself.
This is one of the most important one I'm going to talk about: celibacy as a woman. If you're looking forward to having a long-term relationship and present at the moment you've not yet seen any man whom you think it's fit to look after your heart, going celibate is one of the great things that you can do for yourself. I have been there, and I can tell you that there is so much peace that comes with you being celibate. You gain so much clarity. If you're a spiritual person or a Christian, being celibate and going closer to God, you will realize how much you have been missing out. I'm going to roll the clip on this creator, and I will conclude after.
4 things that abstinence has taught me. It's been 3.5 years, and I've said this before in one of my videos. It's still one of the best gifts that I've given myself, and I will never not say that. Self-control. As we all know, self-control is a fruit of the spirit. When I was engaging in sex outside of marriage, I ain't have no self-control. None. I knew that if I wanted to have sex, I could have it. I was so focused on what I wanted, I never was focused on what God wanted for me. Over the years, God has taught me that self-control is a true form of protection. It allows me to protect myself from getting myself in situations that can cause spiritual death. Secondly, emotional regulation. As women, I feel like in general, we can struggle deeply with emotional regulation. And if you don't know how to regulate your emotions and you add sex outside of marriage on top of that, recipe for disaster. Sex outside of marriage not only clouds your emotions, it also heightens them. And when you're at that point, the red flags start turning pink. Also, because you're engaging in sex, which is heightening your emotions and clouding them, your discernment is also very low or sometimes non-existent, because you are so full of the emotions that you're feeling while engaging in this act that's actively separating you from God. You don't know, or you can't hear or be sensitive to the Holy Spirit. The enemy loves when you're emotionally dysregulated because his work is easier to do when you are. Third thing, patience. Obviously, patience is another fruit of the spirit. When I was engaging in sex outside of marriage, I did it because I refused to be patient. I refused to learn how to wait on the good things that God has set out for me. I wanted to experience them on my time. I have learned that good things truly do come to those who wait on the Lord. It's not just a cute saying, it's a real thing. Waiting on the goodness of God will never fail you. Lastly, self-worth. Engaging in sex outside of marriage actually heavily decreased my sense of self-worth. I thought it was a cue for how valuable I was to a partner. I thought that my body was directly tied to my sense of self-worth. And it really just put me in a place of being vulnerable and continuously being used for my body by people I was never supposed to even entertain. Something that God has really been ingraining in my brain throughout this whole process is that my self-worth comes from God. It doesn't come from who I'm dating, my job, how much money I make, the hair I wear, the makeup I have on. None of that is directly tied to my self-worth. My self-worth is directly tied to God and God only. I am made in God's image, and that's all I have to worry about.
As you pray over yourself, I want you to ask God to give you the quality of discernment. Now, some may look at the quality of discernment as a blessing or a curse because it's like you're always woke. With discernment, you can always feel when something isn't right. You can feel a bad vibe. You can feel a shift in energy without someone literally slapping you in the face and letting you know that the vibe is off or the energy is bad. Have you ever been in a situation where it was so many red flags and you still wasn't aware that it was something wrong? With discernment, you would have been aware way sooner. You would have known something isn't right. Let me remove myself from this space because it just isn't right. Discernment is learning the lesson before you reach the end of the chapter.
Please understand that removing yourself and remaining silent through negativity is growth. The fact that you're not reacting to it or letting it affect you in any way is enough. You really got to sit back and let people play themselves and carry on with the facades that they want to create and run with the narrative that they trying to portray and watch how they fall into a pit that's going to be hard for them to get out of.
Get ready with me for bed while I teach you guys some grown lessons. Learn how to give yourself closure, even if that man didn't. Honestly, it just feels like another excuse to go back and have a conversation and be in the same cycle. While we're on the topic, I know you are not crying over that boy. The one who can't call you back, text you back, or take you out to dinner. Please put your phone down and go touch grass. The real world is so much different than this internet world because people lie on these apps. Go outside. Like Ash, I have no one to go out with. Go out by yourself. What are you going to do? Stay in the house? Grow old, stay in the house with your cats and your dogs? Ladies, wear a heel. A real heel. Why y'all always got sneakers on? You are too young to always be in sneakers. I would on a topic. Throw away the Crocs. I don't want to see them. However, if you're like Ash, I haven't been feeling good. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed. This is what I want you to do. Open up a window. Go drink a cup of water. Clean up your space. Then go outside and get some fresh air. And also stop comparing your life to people on these apps. Half the time it's just an aesthetic. They don't really live that life. Also, ladies, body spray is for like around the house, getting out the shower. Parfum is for when you're going out, okay? If you have to ask, you already know the answer. And yes, she's a hater. She's jealous of you. It's time to cut her off. I don't care how long y'all have been friends, since middle school, Ash, since high school. Real friends celebrate you, real friends have your back, and real friends don't talk behind your back. Wear sunscreen, ladies. Your 50-year-old, 40-year-old skin will thank you. It's for my black girls too. We need sunscreen. My 20-somethings, here's what the 30-somethings and most 40-somethings won't tell you. Find your husband in college. Find your husband in college. The nerdy boy in the front of the class, go talk to him. He may be the next tech giant, the next executive, the next vice president, whatever. Go speak to him. Now, sis, not you wanting a man with a six-pack and you don't go to the gym. Go to the gym. We unbigging our backs for summer. I'm almost done getting ready for bed, but the last thing I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is you are enough, you are loved, you are appreciated, and I am so, so proud of you, just in case no one told you today. Keep going. If you want to see more videos like this, follow me.
Maybe you could love yourself more than you love the idea of someone else loving you. Maybe. Because when you do, you start to understand that attention is not love. The bare minimum is not actually effort, and attachment is definitely not connection. See, the truth is, you start to recognize real love once you stop settling for the illusion of it. So maybe now's the perfect time to do so.
You know that sinking, knotted feeling in your stomach after you've overshared? It's like a queasy cocktail of regret and vulnerability. You replay every single word, each sentence feeling heavier than it did in the moment, and your insides twisting as you wonder if you revealed too much. It is that gnawing sensation and emptiness that sits really heavy, making you wish that you could go back in time, take back those words, and seal them away. A few years ago, I agreed to a dinner with someone whom I had a very complicated friendship with. Actually, I wouldn't even call it a friendship. Let's just say it was an acquaintanceship. I had not seen this person in a very long time, and I'm gonna be honest, I did not have strong boundaries back then. I don't know if I felt like I had something to prove, if I didn't want to be judged, if I was afraid of being judged, or if I was just plain uncomfortable. I do know that I was not present, and the memory of that night and how I felt after are forever seared in my brain because the verbal diarrhea that just kept coming out. My God. Now, the good thing about that memory being seared in my brain is that it has allowed me to create stronger boundaries, and it has allowed me the space to create more presence, to invite more presence into my conversations and my interactions. Also, it helps that I never want to feel the way that I felt that night ever again. I mean, I didn't even really like this person or even trust them, so why give them my entire business on a silver platter? While violence is never the answer, if I could have exited my own body and slapped myself, I would have. A lot of you resonated with the message that I posted recently, especially with the part about oversharing. So let's dig in some more and talk about how to stop doing that, because I know I am not the only one. Why do we overshare? Here are a few reasons. Number one, some of us do it to seek connection. There's a desire, a strong desire to build closer relationships. So you may share personal information to create bonds, especially in environments that can feel isolating. Number two, some do it for validation and attention. And of course, social media has made this a lot worse. Under the social media umbrella, I will note that there are people who do it because they genuinely have a need for self-expression. For them, oversharing is a form of authentic self-expression. Sharing personal details can bring validation through likes, comments, and other reactions. And the feedback loop, especially on social media, can create a sense of being heard and acknowledged. Number three, some people do it because they have very little self-awareness. If you fall into this category, you might not even recognize that you're oversharing or how your words are being perceived by others. Number four, some people do it as an emotional release. If you are in this category, sharing personal details when you're stressed, for example, may feel cathartic for you. Number five, some people overshare because there's an insecurity or a need for acceptance. This happens at work a lot, and if you think about it, you probably did the same thing when you were younger as well. There's this fear that you won't be accepted otherwise, and by being open, overly open, you hope to build rapport or gain approval from others. And then there are people who overshare because of social norms. Current digital culture. Social media has blurred traditional boundaries of privacy. And since everyone is sharing, a lot of people feel it's not only acceptable, but actually expected to overshare intimate details of their lives. Again, this might be the perfect time for us to bring back shame, because we are literally showering with people on social media these days, and I never thought that we would get here. Number seven, impulsivity. My super impulsive folks, with all due respect, you do not think before you speak. You share things that you would not share otherwise because you are just running high on the moment and your emotions are also running high. So think about things that you overshare right after a breakup or a conflict at work with your coworker, boss, or friend. Lastly, number eight, you overshare when and because you lack strong boundaries. If you don't have established boundaries, you have no clue, no idea where to draw the line. You share by default, not recognizing what you're giving away or what parts of yourself you are exposing. Think about which one of those categories you fall into, because when you understand why you feel compelled to overshare or to share certain things, it can help build awareness and encourage boundaries which feel healthy and comfortable. Remember that what we're trying to prevent is those feelings of regret that come with sharing too much. Here's what I've learned in my journey of working through oversharing. The first I already talked about in my last video. We're not present. We have verbal diarrhea because we are not present in the moment that we're in. Number two, we are terrified of pausing, of space, of silence. And here's what's interesting. Human beings, we are mostly made up of space. The vast majority of volume within a human body is actually empty space within atoms, which means if you were to remove all of the empty space within the atoms that make up your body, you would be incredibly small, like a speck of dust. You are terrified of the very thing that you're made of, the very thing that you are. When you're having a conversation, ask yourself this: what is the worst thing that could happen if I pause right now? Maybe a slight awkwardness, because most of us are not used to pausing, but that is literally the worst thing that could happen. But you know the best thing? You gain a whole lot more than your perception of loss when you pause. There is no guilt in that moment or after, because you did not speak without thinking or feeling the weight of your words. I really hope that helped. If it resonated, let me know in the comments. Are you guilty of oversharing? Let me know too in the comments. There's no judgment here. If you're seeing one of my messages for the first time, I'm Wemi. I'm a life coach, a career coach, and a business coach. It is so lovely to meet you. If you want more doses of inspiration like this, don't forget to hit that follow button. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll see you soon.
What is a time where you felt that you failed that you learned a valuable lesson from?
That's such a hard question. Getting divorced was a big lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? What happened?
For a long time, like in your 20s and 30s, like getting married was a big goal, and I got married. And then I realized that that's not everything. Mm-hmm. And what I learned through being married was that knowing who you are, knowing your values, and knowing your non-negotiables is so much more important than anything else. It could be more important than the person that you love. And that was a huge lesson for me.
So do you think you didn't know yourself before getting married?
I think I didn't really know how important my values were to me before I got married.
What is true love like, in your opinion?
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Why did it not work, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted to work so much that I was willing to overlook aspects of him and myself that didn't align with my true values. And that's why it didn't work.
Learn to draw boundaries. Don't assume. Give benefit of the doubt, but don't be blind to the harm that someone can do to you. Like, navigate the world with more caution. The world is full of a lot of good people and a lot of bad people, and then a lot of good people with good intentions who even in their good intentions end up doing a lot of harm. So don't be gullible when it comes to people.
A lot of people have this view that if it's not done whilst I am young, it's not worth doing.
Oh, so good.
And it's like there is actually so much wisdom you'll acquire by the time you're 80 that you can pour out to a generation that will be better than what you know in your 30s.
Yes.
That may be better than what you know in your 20s.
Yes.
So maybe now is not the time to launch the podcast.
Yes.
Maybe now is not the time to launch that thing that causes people to see you. But that brings us to the thing. A lot of people don't like the idea of being hidden. Success is equated to I am seen. If I am not seen, how will people know I'm successful? Right. And if people don't have things to see, the way I dress, the things I have, then what's been the marker of my success? And there's this obsession with being seen and being platformed, which is easier now because of social media. Can you let go of this obsession with being seen enough to allow yourself to be cooked in the hidden place, right? A lot of people don't like that because there's this idolatry of being seen.
Ladies, prioritize self-care. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, in every way that you can. You're going to be proud of yourself when you look back in the years. Go to the gym, work hard, and keep fit. Eat your vegetables. Learn to be discreet as a woman. People cannot destroy what they don't know. Not everybody is your friend. Yeah. Know that. Not everybody is your friend. Friends can easily become enemies. And now, protect your peace. Protect yourself from bad energy. Okay? It's always a pleasure to have you watch till the end. If you enjoyed this grown lesson, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Kindly give this video a follow and put on the notification button so you will be the first to know when next I upload a new video. Please check out my old videos.